I actually can't pick. I don't feel like there's that too much of a difference between the two. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing something fun, which has actually been requested a good bit. So I'm going to be doing luxury makeup versus pharmacy drugstore makeup. And we're putting them to the ultimate test. So I'm going to do one side luxury makeup, one side drugstore makeup, and we're going to compare them. First up, I actually want to address this issue on my neck. It's actually not dirty tan. This happens to me all the time when I get stressed. Like literally, I apply tan and I don't even see the marks when I'm applying the tan, and it literally comes out like this. So this happens to me all the time. Don't judge me. It's literally just a stress rash. Most of my products that I use are actually luxury brands. I do love a couple of drugstore makeup, so I just said I'd get some more bits, test them out, see what I think, because some of them are absolutely amazing and we just forget about them just because of the price. So let's get into the video. My face looks so pale compared to my neck on camera, but we'll just ignore this. Okay, we're going to start off with serum. So we have the famous Magic Serum, which I am obsessed with. And we have the Catrice Boost Serum. So let's see. I do love the Tilbury Magic Serum. I just think it's really, really nice. It is something though that you couldn't really wear every day, I feel, because it is that bit more expensive. I do use it if I'm going out for special occasions, things like that. And we have the Catrice. It's a bit more creamier than the Tilbury. I think the thing with serums is though you actually don't really know what they're like until you apply your makeup, so we will see. Again, we're not going to see the difference, but it does apply really well. It's nice and creamy. It doesn't feel like it's catching in any areas, and it smells really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to start with primers. I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Dewy Ultra Glow Face Primer. This is Dewy Primer. I've recently tried this and I have to say it is really, really good. And then we have the Flormar Illuminating Primer. So as you can see, the Urban Decay one is a clear colour and the Flormar one is a bit more of a cream texture. So let's apply our Urban Decay. This glides really, really well onto the skin and it dries quite quick. Flormar one is a bit more creamier. The Flormar one dries that bit quicker, and I feel like you have a film on your face to give you that even complexion. This one is a bit more tackier. It is a bit more a bit stickier, but we will see. It's hard to see which glow because we've not on yet. So I think the Urban Decay one is around €35. I'm actually going to leave the price of underneath them as I'm editing this video. And then the Flormar one I think is only about €6-7. I'm not really too sure, but I know it's not as expensive as the Urban Decay one. Okay, so we have the famous Tilbury Flawless Filter, which obviously was huge for last year, and I have to say I'm a massive lover, but I'm also a massive lover of the Flormar Double Radiance Primer. I feel like these are quite similar in the results that they give. Let's see which one you prefer. The Tilbury Flawless Filter is around €40. I do feel that this is more of a subtle base rather than the other one. This gives you a nice subtle base, a nice kind of skin tint. So as you can see, the Tilbury just gives you that lovely natural radiant glow. The Flormar one is a bit more liquidy, and I do feel that you get so long out of the Flormar one for the size of the bottle. So this is definitely more illuminating. And we have the difference. This is the Tilbury Flawless Filter and this is the Flormar Double Radiance Primer. I do feel that the Flormar definitely gives you more of a bronzy, intense look, which is actually beautiful underneath foundation because it gives you that bit more glow. Sometimes I feel with the Tilbury underneath your foundation, it kind of gets not really worked to its full potential. I prefer the Tilbury Flawless Filter above foundation. For that reason, I feel that the Flormar would definitely win in this one. This is obviously more of a skin tint. This is definitely more of a glow. But yeah, I feel like the Tilbury underneath foundation just gets wasted, and it's just a waste of a product and a step. I feel like it's nicer over foundation or mixed in with a foundation. So we have Tilbury and then we have the Flormar. I like both. It just depends on the look that I'm doing. Definitely do think this gives you a bit more of a glow. So for foundation, I was like, which one will I pick? So I'm going to go with the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, and I was trying to see what would be a similar product to this that was mattifying. So I went with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation because this was a massive trend as well for last year, and I have to say I do love this foundation. So we're going to compare the Catrice foundation to the Charlotte Tilbury. Bear in mind now, I don't know if this is going to 100% match to this colour, probably won't, and probably not to my neck. Okay, so we're going to start with the Catrice foundation. The colour is going to be a bit off, but we'll ignore that. So it is a good thick consistency. It does blend quite well and it does cover quite well. So the Catrice foundation is lightweight and a non-oily texture that feels like a second skin. It's long-lasting, full coverage without mask effect. So it's quite similar to the Charlotte Tilbury. The Charlotte Tilbury is a full coverage foundation as well. It does dry matte. And with high definition, finish your camera ready skin. This is interesting. Colour is actually oxidizing, so it's actually working quite well. So it definitely does give full coverage. It definitely is more mattifying. I can see that it would last someone with extremely oily skin. My skin is a bit more, it's combination, it's a slightly bit dehydrated, but hopefully with the serums and the primers underneath, this will be okay. I have to say the coverage is good. It does mask out any imperfections. Okay, I am impressed with. Let's compare this to the Charlotte Tilbury. So with the Charlotte Tilbury, I have shade 6 and shade 9. I think 6 is going to be too light and 9 is going to be too dark, so we're just going to mix them. The Charlotte Tilbury is more of a creamier texture. It's not as liquefying as the Catrice one. So it kind of instantly gives you coverage straight away, but they're actually very, very similar. Yeah, so I feel like you kind of have to maybe work less for the coverage of the Charlotte Tilbury. I think you need less product, even though the Catrice does literally give you full coverage like it says it's going to do. Let me inspect this. Okay guys, they're actually quite similar when I'm having a little close-up look at myself. I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury is a bit more creamier, where I feel like the Catrice is definitely more mattified. But they're actually very, very similar. There's actually not a lot in the difference. I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury might have a bit more of a dew, so it is a matte finish with a bit of a dewy under kind of tone in it, where the Catrice is just a matte effect. But like the price difference between the two is just phenomenal. So they are actually very, very similar as in what they say they're going to do. They're both long lasting foundations. They're both meant to give like a medium to full coverage. My skin is actually so dehydrated at the moment. So let's do a close up and see what you think. So this is the Catrice. As you can see, it's matte. And then we have the Charlotte Tilbury. So as you can see, it's matte, but it does have a bit more of a dew in it. Or this is definitely more mattified. But I have to say on camera, the Catrice actually works really, really well. Isn't that actually mad? That it does have kind of a bit of a HD definition finish to it. That's actually really interesting. There's actually not much in the difference in them. And I have to say, by looking at the camera, the Catrice is actually catching my eye of how well it looks on camera. This is very interesting. This could be a breakthrough moment. I have to say, I do really, really like it. So if you do have oily skin and you're looking for a matte foundation, definitely try the Catrice because it's looking good. I'm going to test two concealers against one another for two different reasons. So I'm going to go in with the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. So this is waterproof. And then I'm going in with the Kevyn Aucoin. This is their Skin Enhancer, the Sensual Concealer. So this is quite a thick coverage concealer. And this is meant to be a high coverage concealer. So I want to test these in here for, say, for example, anyone who has very dark circles. Yes, this is quite expensive. This is really, really cheap. So let's test them both out to see which covers better. Now, the smallest amount of the Kevyn Aucoin is needed because it is very, very full coverage. So if you do have any blemishes or anything, you can certainly use this for that. So I'm just going to blend that out and right underneath my eye. Because it's quite thick, I wouldn't bring too much underneath my eye, so just a small bit. So I'm going to go with the Catrice. This is a comfortable high coverage concealer with moisturising Hydro Boost Complex, won't settle into fine lines, fresh and even soft matte finish, covers under eye circles. Quite similar to the Kevyn Aucoin. It's quite full coverage colour, but it's more liquidy. Kevyn Aucoin is a bit more thicker. Let's blend this out. This is definitely easier to blend. It's definitely more liquidy. So I'm actually going to bring this right underneath the eye, whatever's left on my brush. Okay, this is actually really, really nice. It actually is quite hydrating underneath the eye. And I actually feel that it covered the darkness in here better than the Kevyn Aucoin. Yeah, I actually feel like it did cover it a bit better. It doesn't feel as cakey, and it actually makes the eye look a bit more lifted than this side. It's definitely more lightweight on the eye. It definitely is easier to apply. Kevyn Aucoin might be better on real blemished areas than your inner eye circle, but I have to say I do really like that Catrice. Okay, so I'm going to test two more concealers that are quite similar. We have the Rimmel Long Lasting Radiance Concealer, and this is quite lightweight, and then we have the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. So I'm just going to literally highlight my skin just on top of my cheekbones with two of these concealers. So this is the MAC Pro Longwear. I really, really love this concealer. It's very, very lightweight. It doesn't feel too heavy underneath your under eye. And it's really nice to kind of brighten up that under eye area as well. Nice light texture consistency. The Rimmel Lasting Radiance Concealer is actually quite similar to the MAC. Yeah, they're quite similar. They're quite light texture. They're quite hydrating underneath the eye. Okay, so the MAC Pro Longwear I feel gives a bit more coverage. And then the Lasting Radiance is definitely like a lighter coverage again. So it's a bit lighter coverage than the MAC Pro Longwear. But I have to say I like it because it gives a nice glow to that area. Where this definitely is more coverage. This is just definitely more of a lighter coverage, like a sheer kind of coverage glow. I'm just going to add a bit more because I actually quite like that glow. I'm actually going to apply some of the Rimmel on my eyelid. If you just want to even out the eye area and just have like a bit of an eyeshadow base, that's actually really, really nice for an eyeshadow base. Okay, we're going to bronze up our skin. Okay, so for bronzer I have the Fenty Beauty, sorry this is reflecting, Private Island bronzer, which is my absolute favorite. And then we have the Catrice Sun Lover Glow Bronzing Powder. So this looks interesting. It kind of looks like a highlighter and a bronzer all in one. So I don't know if it's going to be like as bronzy as the other one, but so it actually blends quite well. I'm not getting any patches sticking to the foundation or anything. It's actually a really nice neutral undertone, which is sometimes very hard to get when you are looking for a bronzer. This side is actually exciting me. Like I'm actually in love with this side of my face. But let's wait till the end. Let's wait till the end to see the result. Oh, I'm liking this. And I do like a good bit of a bronzer. I'm not one of these people that like hold off on the bronzer. So now we're going in with the Fenty. This is definitely more of a warmer tone. So we have a drugstore side, we have a luxury side. Okay, we're just going to do cream blushers. So my favourite is NARS Orgasm Liquid Blush. And then we have an NYX cream stick, and this is in shade Big Apple Blush. Colours are both similar. So this is a bit more thicker consistency. So let's blend that out. It actually blends out quite well. The only thing is though with the application, I feel like it's after taking off a small bit of my makeup. Our NARS, so this is really, it's actually very similar tone. This is a bit more liquidy. I feel like the NARS does definitely blend that bit better than the NYX. So we want to set our cream blusher. So I actually went with the MAC Dainty, which is one of my favorite bridal ones. And then I found a similar color, which is another Catrice one, Cheek Lover Oil Infused Blush. And this is in shade Blooming Biscuits. So these are the two that we're going to be trying today. I'm going to start off the drugstore side, which is the Catrice one. And it has a bit of a glow in it, which is quite cute. I love a blusher with like a glow in it. I'm not really a lover of like matte blushers. I'm going to start off with a small bit first because I don't know how intense this is. Okay, there's definitely a glow here. It's definitely like a blusher and highlighter all in one. This is nice. I have to say this is lovely. You only need a tiny amount though. MAC Dainty isn't as glowy. It does have a slight bit of a glow, but this is like a highlighter and nearly blusher all in one. Or this is just a blusher with a small bit of a glow. They're actually quite similar. Definitely has, like, you can see the glow that it's given, where this one doesn't have as much of an intensified highlighter effect. Very similar. So definitely like it's like a dupe for the MAC Dainty. So let's move on to eyeballs. We have the Urban Decay Heat palette, and we do have another Catrice palette because I was looking for something quite similar in tones. And this is the Catrice palette in Natural Spirit. So this is their neutral element. So I wanted something quite neutral to see if we compare them. And I have to say I love Urban Decay eyeshadows. I think The pigments in them are insane. The blend in it was insane. So this is the Catrice palette. It's actually really nice colours. Okay, so these are actually quite pigmented. Oh my god, I'm actually really impressed with the blend. Usually some eyeshadows, which I find that of the cheaper palettes, they do like a lot of fallout, where I'm actually not getting a lot of fallout off these. I'm actually really impressed with that. Like, that's actually really, really nice. So I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay palette now with a colour quite similar. So this is Sauce from their Heat palette. Yeah, these are actually very, very similar in like texture, which is actually mad. I always love the Urban Decay eyeshadows. I just think they're absolutely amazing. I just feel that they blend really, really smoothly. And the only difference between the two is these are a small bit less powdery than the Catrice ones, but once you tap off the brush, they're actually perfect and you actually don't get a fallout. So very, very similar on both. As in regards to blend, the Catrice is literally like a dupe for it. So for a brown eyeliner, I'm going to be comparing the Charlotte Tilbury Classic Eye Pencil with the Isadora Perfect Contour Bronzing Brown. So I'm going to bring this across the top of my lash line and blend it out. So I'm going to start off with the Isadora. I'm going to go off camera to do this and then I'll show you the difference. Okay, so I used the Isadora on my drugstore side and then the Charlotte Tilbury on this side. Okay, so we have Isadora side and then we have the Charlotte Tilbury side. So for this sultry kind of smoky lash line I was doing, I think I do prefer the Isadora. It's just a bit more creamier and easier to blend on the eye. It's easier to blend out. Charlotte Tilbury is harder to blend out if you're looking for that like smoky lash line. But if you want like a more intense waterline, the Charlotte Tilbury, I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury though would have more lasting power in the waterline than the Isadora one. It's definitely, the Isadora is definitely nicer on like the lash line, where the Charlotte Tilbury is better in the waterline. I feel like it'll stay put better than this, just because this is a bit more creamier. It works better on your upper eye. I'm going over brow serums and brow mascaras. The Refi collection, which is their clear brow serum, and their Promenade versus the Catrice. This is their Volume and Lift brow mascara. So this actually has a bit of colour in it. So let's see which is quicker, which is easier, and which one I prefer. So I like the little petite brow wand on the mascara. So let's apply this and see. Or I like this because it's giving me a bit of colour as well. Let's see, will it match up to my favourite Refi product. That's nice. It's nice and subtle. The Refi is a clear brow serum, so if you like that laminated look, you will love this product. This definitely, I feel, gives more of a lengthening to the brow. Going to go in with the brow promenade now, just to add a bit more depth. I think the Catrice side is definitely a bit more subtle, a bit more reserved. And then the Refi is a bit more of that laminated, like structured look. So again, I think it's going to prefer, like, it's going to come down to preference really of what kind of brow you prefer. Personally, like, I love a big structured brow, but I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. Like, I do like the subtleness of this, the Catrice side as well. It's super easy to use. You literally just brush it to your brows. It's not as much effort as the Refi side. For mascara, we're going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Push Up Lashes versus the Maybelline Colossal Bounce and Curl Bounce mascara. So with the Charlotte Tilbury brush, it is a bit more dense, and what I love about it, it actually really does like separate those like little lashes inside. So I feel like there is like more volume with the Charlotte Tilbury. But I have to say, like, this is a new mascara that I've recently started using and I'm obsessed. The brush is a bit different. It is more of a thicker brush, so I feel like you do get more of that curl on your lash and you do get that bit more length. Like, yeah, there is more length in this side of my face, where this one I feel like it is more like that wispy kind of fuller effect. But you could mix the two of them and then you would have like the ultimate lashes. But as regarding price, this is around €29. And I think the Maybelline one is around like €11, but I will put this in text underneath because I'm probably wrong. I do love the length of this. This does give you a bit more fullness. For highlighters, we are going with the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is their Measy highlighter, one of my ultimate favorites. Like, this has been out a couple of years, but I feel like it's just one of those highlighters that you don't really get that highlighter look. You still get highlighter without that cakiness. And then again, we're going with this Catrice one again, just because I've actually used this before and I was so impressed with it. I was like, whoa, Like, this is crazy. I just couldn't get over it, how intense it was, and it looks quite creamy on the skin. We have Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is obviously a bit more goldy, but as you can see, it's just really, really creamy. It just like glides into the skin, and I'm literally obsessed with it. And then on this side, we have our Catrice Glow More Than Glow highlighter. Wait till you see this. Like, this is so crazy. Like, this is intense. Like, I feel like if you are a highlighter lover, you will be obsessed with this. It's like the ultimate glow. It's so glowy. Price difference, insane. It just prefers what kind of shade you like. Obviously, this is a bit more goldier. This is a bit more rosier. This actually comes in different shades as well. So if you do prefer like something a bit more goldier, you can definitely get that. I'm just obsessed with the glow. Like, it's so intense that I'm obsessed. Like, I would definitely wear this on a night out. So for my pressed powder, we're going in with the famous, again, Charlotte Tilbury. I feel like we have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury here, but it is definitely a luxury brand. So this is their finished airbrush flawless finish, their skin perfecting micro powder, which I am obsessed with. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's an amazing powder. And I wanted to compare it to another Catrice one. This is quite similar. It's pressed shine control powder healthy look, so they're quite similar. So I'm gonna see, like, does this like match up to the Charlotte Tilbury one. It is hard to find something that is this good that doesn't make you look cakey, so let's test it out. Okay, so it definitely does reduce shine. I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury is definitely a bit more like fluffier when I'm applying it, even before I even look at it. I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury definitely gives you that extra bit of coverage. The Catrice definitely does what it says. It reduces the shine on the face. It doesn't add any extra more coverage compared to the Charlotte Tilbury, but it's still really, really good. And I have to say, I'm liking how this is looking. For lips, I'm going to be comparing MAC Whirl. The first is the Penny's lip liner. I use Penny's lip liners quite a lot. I have to say, I actually really, really like them. I find them really, really creamy, really, really good, and they last. So let's compare the two. So we have MAC Whirl and we have our Penny's lip liner, and this is in shade, I actually don't know what shade this is. Ooh, toffee. To be 100% honest, I think the Penny's lip liners are so much easier to apply than the MAC lip liners. But obviously the MAC have like a wider range of colours, so where the Penny's lip liners literally just glide on, so you get that intensity like straight away. For my lipstick, we are going in with Urban Decay, and this is in shade Art Walk. And then I'm going in with an Essence lipstick, which is quite similar, and this is in shade number 7. So I'm gonna get the Essence on first. That glided really, really well. It's super, super quick and easy. The pigment in this is very, very strong. Yeah, this is definitely more creamier. Yeah, it just feels like that. Yeah, this feels like it would last a bit longer than the Essence one. But yeah, so definitely the Urban Decay is a lot more pigmented, it's a lot more creamy. But the Essence one does have more of like a glossy effect. Okay, so this is the finished look. Which side do you prefer? We have our luxury side, and then we have our drugstore pharmacy side. I'm actually quite torn between the two, to be honest. Like, I actually can't pick. I don't feel like there's that too much of a difference between the two. Again, I suppose it depends on lasting power, how long each side's last, but we're going to put that to the test, so stay tuned. I will let you know. Really, really liking the drugstore side, which I didn't think I would. But yeah, I'm going to leave it up to you. What do you think? Do you think drugstore side? Do you think luxury side? Leave a message in the comments of what you prefer, or if you've used any of the products. Yeah, so if there's any of the products that you loved, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it was useful to you, because we're all trying to save $1 and we're all looking for good dupes. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know in the comments what you think. Give a big thumbs up if you like this video, if you found it useful, because it really does help my channel grow and get seen by other people. And yeah, until next week, guys.